going to go to my front view and I'm going to draw this curve. You can use the grid for that, but I'd rather be a little bit free in that sense. So I'm just going to go and take my CV curve, okay? And I'm going to try to, actually I'm going to do it with my EP curve. And the one thing I'm going to ask you is to keep the distance between the points consistent, so that the isopalms are not going to be too far apart, okay? And this helps us later on not having to rebuild the curve or work too much with the tessellation, okay? So I'm going to start here on the bottom, and obviously here I don't have a choice, I have to be close if I want to create this curvature. Same here. And here I have the option to offset, so this curve, which means duplicating this curve and then connect them. But that would make sense if this is a glass. And this is not going to be a glass, so I can just continue editing my curve, adding here until the center, and then probably trying to copy this. And then I can just close it in whatever way I want, because I'm not really going to see in the center of this. Okay, then I can just go to my control vertex and edit my curve a little bit. And as I said, it doesn't really matter what I do here in the center, but because I'm not going to see in there, otherwise it makes much more sense that you offset this curve and have a lot more control in it. This curve seems quite okay to me. So I'm just going to keep it this way, okay? And now I'm going to, I'm just going to revolve this curve. So the curve is right now in the middle of the coordinates, in the center of the coordinates. So I'm just going to double click, and I want to revolve it on Y, okay? And one thing I want to show you, in all these tools, you can actually create directly polygons, okay? And the options you have here to create the polygons are the same that you would have when you convert a NURB into a polygon. And there's also tutorials in the e-learning platform so that you can learn every single setting, okay? But we are just going to create the NURBs, and by the way, you have the option to create it in triangles and quad. It's always a better idea to create quads, okay? So I'm just gonna leave it on NURBs. And I'm going to create my revolve surface, so apply. Okay, in the case this would come black, then you just go to surface and reverse direction. Okay, the reason why it didn't come black is because I anyway drew inside into the surface. And as I said, even if I go all the way here, which is already not such a good angle to see this vase, I still don't see the interior, okay? So this is just about being smart and not over modeling details that you're not going to see, okay? But as I said, NURBs are about being precise, and if you're actually trying to be very precise, and this is going to be a class, then you might want to model the whole interior in a much better way, okay? And this is the reason why I put up this vertex, so that I have this little curvature here that you see sometimes in vases, okay? And that's it. If you manage actually to watch the polymodeling tutorial, you realize how long it took to get this nice shape by doing it in polymodeling, okay? And now the next thing I want to show you is that if I add right now a material, let's make it an Arnold material, and I add a simple 2D texture here, it's actually quite nicely mapped. Okay, and you see it's quite obvious how this is a NURB. They have particular coordinates, and even in the interior is doing a quite okay mapping because the UV map coordinates are implicit to NURBs. Okay, if you compare it with the polymodeling tutorial, you'll see the difference right away.